Thank you everyone for attending and taking time out of your busy day. This is our next installment in our BPCI Advanced Success Series. This installment is titled Proven Technology and Real-Time Reporting to Enable High Value over Episode of Care. We will start with about a 20-minute presentation followed by Q&A. Just a reminder to please send your questions through the GoToWebinar question box. My name is Ed Zecchini, and I'm the Chief Information Officer for Remedy Partners, and I will be presenting on how our Episode Connect software platform is helping partners to succeed in bundle payments. My colleague, Vincent Fitts, is sitting right here with me. He's our Senior Vice President of Analytics, and he will be presenting on Remedy's analytics and reporting capabilities. So I'd like to just start with talk a little bit about Remedy's Episode Connect technology. It's a purpose-built software platform to manage and optimize value-based programs. Episode Connect, we feel, is a major differentiator in the market today. It can find patients, track patients, and support effective interventions in real time. All necessary components to succeed in bundle payments. Episode Connect is available today and is part of Remedy's overall offering. Remedy has been running the largest bundle payment program in the country for over 4 years. And throughout this time, we've learned what are the workflows and interventions that drive success. Just some of the stats that's been running through Episode Connect over those 4 years. We've managed 1 billion cumulative spend to date. We've managed over 484,000 cumulative episodes to date. And in aggregate, we're having about a savings rate of around 8%. So pretty powerful stuff and proven technology. We're succeeding in bundle payments. It does require continuous learning. And so learning takes time and scale. And the BPCI Advanced program starts on day one with full risk. And so Episode Connect is a proven platform that can enable you to start running and continue to improve your program. Over our years of experience running the BPCI Classic program, we have seen continued improvement. And we continually utilize these learnings to improve our platform, and you'll be able to take full advantage of that from day one. The platform focuses on 5 major points of intervention. Identifying the episode, which is very key to the program, intervening the episode through proven workflows and decision support tools, monitoring the episode, and alerting on key inflection points. Analyzing past episodes to report on financial and operational performance, and identifying trends and patterns to determine where operations improvements can be made and more interventions can be deployed. So one of the key components of running a bundle payments program and a key component of the Episode Connect platform is episode identification. So early identification for the purpose of intervention is key to this program. The earlier you can identify, obviously the better you are. Over 80% of the patients are emergent. They are unplanned admissions, as you know. They are not defined participants that are accreting into the system. So this is an identification challenge, and every day matters. And our tool is finding these patients in near real time, within hours. We've built the most reliable system for patient identification and attribution available today. Our patient identification and attribution system has upwards of a 75% accuracy rate. Now, how do we do that? So we aggregate data from across many systems to create a longitudinal record and utilize a patient matching algorithm to ensure the correct records are created. Our network today has upwards of 1,000 endpoints, which includes both acute and post-acute facilities. We're ingesting and curating over 18 million HL7 transactions a month. We've run almost 500,000 patients through this system that have been identified and managed to date. And then, once we get all that data, we bring it in, we curate it, we harvest it, we create a longitudinal record. Then we have to run it through the complex program rules that you're aware of, eligibility, the triggering rules. And our system makes that look easy, but we all know that's a difficult challenge. And so in order to drive early interventions, we've created a predictive algorithm that utilizes data from across multiple sources to identify episodes before they begin, to ensure that we're able to deploy interventions at the time that they will have the most impact. So just some highlights maybe on this screen I'd like to point out is just we're doing this within hours of a patient's admission. We're creating this longitudinal record. We're predicting their episode. We're risk stratifying the patient. And this is proven technology that's turning points of data into action and helping us to get on our journey to find the patient, to intervene, and to track the patient. So let's talk about interventions. So I'd like to talk about our decision support tools and supported workflows that are improving patient outcomes and targeting savings opportunities. We've been running the largest bundle payment program in the country for over 4 years. And throughout this time, we have learned what are the most effective workflows and interventions that drive success. We've also found that change is driven locally. And therefore, we've built a modular platform that enables each partner to deploy the workflows that are best for their unique situation. Each workflow is focused on key actions that will drive improvements in a specific point in a patient's care. Workflows are driven by data, and many actions and recommendations are automatically identified by the system. As you know, one of the biggest opportunities in bundle payments is to ensure optimal post-acute placement. So for example, supporting the discharge planning process, Episode Connect will surface the most important actions. Each recommendation and alert is driven by our data science algorithms to provide users with the insight into each unique patient journey. These data science algorithms are powered by an extensive data set spanning multi-millions of records. So in this example you see here right on the screen, which is our next site of care decision support tool, this will provide a workflow to complete a care assessment. We'll run that through our data science algorithms and provide a recommended next site of care, the SNF or home, and then we'll then display a list of selected sites from our performance network that offer the best patient outcomes for that individual patient. Then we will route that patient to the optimal next site of care. It's important to make the right decision for the patient on the next site of care. These tools are powered by data science, and after the patient gets discharged, we continue to track them through their episode. We are tracking and alerting on these patients. This technology enables the management and monitoring of a high-efficient performance network. These tools can be leveraged by care coordinators and other providers to ensure patients are getting the optimal care. So I just want to summarize, when you look at here, this is a slide of anatomy of an episode. And so, in summary, as we look at this anatomy of an episode, you can see our Remedy is leveraging technology, so our Episode Connect platform, to provide early identification and attribution of patients for the purposes of intervention, right? So it provides the next site of care decision support tools. We're providing visibility into transitions. So we're making sure that they're happening, that they're timely, and that we're ensuring safe handoffs. We are providing visibility into the post-acute to help manage length of stay and readmissions. And Episode Connect provides this line of sight, and an increased transparency into the patient's care continuum. And we're doing all this utilizing support tools and, most importantly, guided workflows through all the experiences that we've learned over the last 4 years. So I'd love to do a full demo, but we don't have time for that. I'd love to show off Episode Connect. Our sales folks, they'll be reaching out to all the prospects to schedule demos within the coming weeks. But for now, I'd like to just quickly walk through 2 screens, the patient list and the patient profile. So what we're looking at here is the patient list, which provides the user with a simple interface to track their patients. It's, all the relevant information is on this list. It's very simple, it's concise, it's very clean. The key actions needed for each patient can be easily accessed on the right side of the patient card. The risk score, as well as the current episode status, are shown on the top right, enabling users to identify which patients need focus and interventions. This is, can work standalone. You can operate Episode Connect right out of the box. We also can integrate this into existing systems, which we've done with some of our partners. So it's really depends on how individuals want to consume the product. We have a crawl, walk, run approach. So if folks want to get up and running quickly, they can just run Episode Connect out of the box. If they'd like to integrate it into their EHR system or their custom systems, we have single sign-on, as well as application programming interfaces to have this really deeply embedded into existing workflows. So we'll work with the partner however they'd like us to work with them. Next screen, I have one more screen to show. And this is the patient profile. This is the central hub, actually, for all the information and actions for a patient. This particular view that we're looking at now is of a patient in a SNF. The central area surfaces the key steps that need to be taken for each individual patient, which then tracks the user's progress against these steps. The activity feed section tells a comprehensive story about the patient, tracking all healthcare events, including all transitions, but also all interventions taken by the users. And then the right side is populated with key modules that enable the users to take actions that drive success. So this is you'll ultimately get a full demo. We'll be reaching out to everybody to show you this. We're very proud of this, and it's really creating success in the program for our partners today. So now I think I'm going to transition over to Vincent. Vincent Fitts, our Senior Vice President of Analytics, will present on our real-time reporting capabilities.
Great, thank you, Ed. Okay, so I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about our reporting platform and our real-time reporting capabilities. So our reporting platform consolidates the real-time Episode Connect data and the performance-related claims data to give you the complete view needed to manage your BPCI Advanced program. Remedy Connect reports include key metrics to monitor and understand the performance of your program. You can evaluate overall trends in post-acute utilization, readmissions, and other key drivers of program success. And you can compare this performance to your own past performance or to peer group benchmarks that Remedy derives from our national set of fee-for-service claims. You can also drill down to the performance of specific facilities or physicians and review the components of specific episodes to better understand factors that drive spending. The value of reporting also evolves with the development of your episodes. Reporting begins with Episode Connect information about patients who are likely to accrue into your BPCI Advanced program. Early identification helps you understand changes in volume and acuity and track the success of interventions that set the course for the rest of the episode. For example, if you're trying to monitor your post-acute discharge patterns, you can see changes immediately in your Episode Connect reports. The Episode Connect information is then supplemented with claims information that enriches your understanding of the episode. From claims, you can see how long patients receive care at a post-acute provider and the costs associated with that care. You can also see information about providers and services delivered later in the episode that impact your total episode cost and overall program performance. Finally, the reporting includes financial reports that support the recognition of savings. Episode spending is tied back to each episode's target price, and the distribution of savings and gain sharing is detailed. This continuum of reports gives you the ability to monitor your program at every phase and understand what actions result in improved patient care and savings. Another aspect of our reporting is that the reports are oriented around insights that drive program success. During bundle selection, we will help you understand where opportunities exist, how we identified the opportunities based on the data, and have a lot of conversation to underwrite our understanding of that data and make sure that you're selecting the right amount of risk for your program. And then we'll provide you recommendations for interventions that have demonstrated success. Similar insights to the bundle selection work are embedded into our reporting approach and will adapt as you successfully address opportunities. We may start out focused on managing performance at specific post-acute sites. Then as those challenges are addressed, we can move on to bundles that demonstrate high levels of variation. And then we may move on to looking at specific physicians that have volatility in the spending of their episodes. So focusing on insights helps you better understand how to use the data to drive program success. So I'll hand it back over to Ed now.
Thank you, Vincent. So we're going to take about a 30-second break. We just want to review the questions that came over while we were speaking, and we'll come back in a few seconds to address them. So just give us about 30 seconds. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to address one of the first questions that came over. Well, actually, before I start that, I just want to remind everyone on the phone that the application window closes on March 12th. So please get us your information as soon as possible. And also, if we don't get to your question today, please reach out to us with your question. Our team of experts will get back to you with an answer very quickly. So if we don't get to you, we will as quick as we can. So I'm going to grab this question, Vincent. Can Episode Connect help our ACO population? So the short answer is absolutely. So for partners that want ACO support, in addition to BPCI Advanced support, Remedy can provide three things. First thing is we can do patient identification and attribution of ACO patients in the acute facilities. Second, we can notify ACOs that their patients have been admitted. And the third thing is we can track and manage the patient through the post-acute to optimize their stay. So again, and that would be included if you're a partner of ours and you can utilize the same technology to also manage those ACO patients. So maybe, Vincent, you want to take the next one?
Oh, sure.
Reporting
sure.
one.
I'll take the next question.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a question here about how do the reporting tools interact with Episode Connect? So there's a couple of ways that Episode Connect and the reporting tools are interrelated. So Episode Connect is really a tool to drive your early understanding of the program before claims data is available. It's focused on episode identification and early interventions that can drive success in the episode. So you may be looking at Episode Connect on a patient-by-patient basis. The reporting tools will be more useful when you're interested in aggregating collections of patients or understanding overall trends in your programs. So sometimes you're going to want to understand things at the individual patient level, and then sometimes you're going to want to understand overall trends in your program. So many of the reports are populated both with Episode Connect data and claims data. So as the claims data gets more complete, you'll see many of the metrics are populated and calculated from both data sources, so you can compare those as well. So there's really a continuum of understanding that you get between the Episode Connect data source and the claims data source as well.
Thank you, Vincent. So I have another question. So it's actually a series of questions. Maybe I'll try to answer them all in one shot here. So a couple of questions came across on what companies or EHRs are we integrated with? How are we getting that data? How is it getting loaded into the system? And then how are we interfacing once we get the data and we're connected to these various systems? So maybe I'll just talk about that. I'll address all three at the same time. So first of all, the companies that we're integrated with are all the major companies. We're integrated with Epic, Cerner, McKesson, Allscripts, 3M, Siemens, Point Click Care, HealthMedics, Matrix Care, Meditech, HealthQuest. I'm sure I'm leaving some out. J.A. Thomas, Athena, NextGen. So both acute and post-acute, we're connected with all these systems. And now that I guess to the next question, I think somebody asked with regards to how do we do that, right? So we are getting data from the SNFs, we're getting data from the post-acute as well as the acute, and that all comes across mostly HL7 data. Those are the 18 million records that we're seeing every month. We're getting almost 1 million a day. And then that's where we curate those records. We look through those records. We house them. We create a one patient record. No matter where that data is coming from, it's all put into one longitudinal record, so you have that visibility of that patient across the transitions and across the care continuum. And so we could do a bunch of things. To get up and running, we call this the crawl, walk, run approach to how we integrate. So the crawl approach could be simply getting the feeds directly out of Epic and Cerner and McKesson and Point Click Care and curating those, and then they get expressed through Episode Connect, and we run those against our machine learning algorithms, and that's how you get the patient identification and attribution, as well as our decision support tools around next site of care. And you can just run Episode Connect out of the gate. If you want deeper integration, if you want to walk a little bit, we can actually put some of this data, we do this with some clients, back into Epic. So we have some clients, Epic is a good example of where we'll take those feeds live, we'll find patients, we'll attribute them to an episode, we'll have a risk score, and we'll put back a feed into Epic so that that patient list in Epic now has a flag that says, oh, this is a BPCI patient. And so then they could either log into our account, or we could do single sign-on, which would bring them directly into our product, which would then show that patient list from there, and then they can start working the workflows and the interventions. We can even go deeper integration we've done with some clients where it's the application, we have application program interfaces. So our technology, our front end that you're seeing in Episode Connect is actually built off our own APIs. So we're consuming those APIs, and we're allowing our partners to consume those APIs as well. And so for the technical folks on the phone, so those APIs, you can build those directly into your application. So if you wanted to have certain workflows and you wanted to call out to our next site of care tool from your application, we'll allow you to do that. And so that's something that would be more of a deep discussion, but we can do any of those things. I think I've addressed most of that question, I hope. Maybe we go back to Vincent if there's another reporting question.
Sure. So we have another question about how can the reporting tools help me increase physician engagement? And so the reporting tools help drive engagement by giving access to the granular data and highlighting different elements of the program. So if you're interested in understanding utilization patterns or performance on quality metrics or performance on specific program financials, you can dig into all of that in the reports. And then the reports give you the ability to drill down to specific episodes by physician and understand the factors that differentiate a successful episode from a less successful episode. So you can go through physician by physician, episode by episode, look at bundle level performance. There's many different aggregations, but also you can drill down to the individual episodes to really get a good understanding of how your program is performing and why it's performing that way as well. Well, so there's one other question real quick about how often are the reports updated and how often are they available. So the reports are updated as the data is updated. So your Episode Connect data would be updated in real time, basically on a daily basis. And then the claims-based reports are updated as the data becomes available. So for the CMS program, it's monthly. And then reconciliation data updated on it'll be every 6 months in the BPCI Advanced program. There's a question here that says, we have interest from several organizations working with us for BPCI Advanced, and what is our suggestion for who to interact with? So what we offer at Remedy is an opportunity to take a look at your data. So we will submit an application along with you, which gives us access to the CMS data, and we will evaluate your opportunity in the program and help you understand what the key drivers are to make you successful in the program. That evaluation is not a determination that you're going to go forward in the BPCI Advanced program or that you're going to assume risk necessarily, but we are happy to submit an application with you and to take a look at your data, evaluate it, and give you that information back for you to make the right decision about your participation in the program going forward. So that's what we would recommend. We'd love to have that opportunity to help give you our perspective on your specific program.
Yep. So I think our time is up. I want to just remind everybody to, please join us next week for our last session in our webinar series. Our CEO, Chris Garcia, and our Chief Revenue Officer, Bob Meyer, will be taking live questions for the full 30 minutes. This is your chance to ask last-minute questions about the program and the application. So please join us then. Thank you very much for taking time out today, and have a nice day.